I think it's really important to say that we only need to be good enough parents.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
We only need to be good enough partners. It's really easy for us to sit here and talk about this optimal, idealized world. And yes, we only need to be good enough parents. And part of being good enough parents is being open to looking at in our family what isn't working well for us as a couple, maybe what doesn't seem to be working well for our children, and they're showing us in their behavior or their difficulties at school, and then maybe we need to get some extra help there so that we can make the adjustment so we stay in that good enough zone. Not perfect, but good enough.
Yeah. I agree. That's a nice way to put it. You only have to be attuned part of the time in order to have a good, resilient nervous system. And making a repair after you have a chance where you miss something is really helpful.
Right.
So there's other parts.
In fact, one of the key things in parenting, and whether we really know are we doing good enough parenting, is if one, we're not asking our child to take care of us, but we're in the driver's seat taking care of the child. And the other key thing is, are we willing to make repair when we make a mistake? And are we willing to say to our child or our partner or our friend, gee, I'm really sorry I did that. If we do lose our temper with one of those three people and we isolate them or isolate ourselves, we can always come back and make a repair. And that is a real mark of a good enough relationship.
But I guess the final thing to say is it really isn't all that we're talking about, this new paradigm, or this paradigm that is a continuum from an older one, is not a prescription. And we have a nice way of, you have always a nice way of saying, we're not going to define health this way. So it is just another part of a healthy lifestyle that we're underscoring here, right?
Yes, and we really do know, and this is what the research is informing us, that being connected to our feelings translates not only into psychological well-being, but it translates into physical well-being. And we have a 45-year study from Harvard that shows that if we're in good relationships in our lives, that translates into positive physical health. So what we're talking about, attachment relationships, really is the place where mind, body, spirit, and feelings come together and translate into well-being in our lives.